Borno State has been on a steady rise regarding socio-economic development after suffering setbacks due to over a decade-long Boko Haram insurgency. The state has now continued to reposition itself as the most promising in the northeast region. Hello and welcome. This is Borno Restoration. I am Jessie Tafida. Today on the program, we will take you through activities of Governor Babagana Zulum aimed at bringing succor to survivors of the 13-year conflict. First, let's bring you the latest on Borno today. The 13-year conflict in the northeast region has resulted to millions of people displaced from their ancestral homes. Development partners and government have projected that billions of dollars is needed to restore the livelihood of survivors of the insurgency. Qatar Foundation is here today to unveil a 4-year strategic plan on how best to address such issues. It has guided stakeholders from across the country.
For us as an organization, we are seeing this strategy as a roadmap for navigating the dynamic landscape of humanitarian intervention and social development in Nigeria, Northeast Nigeria region. One key unique thing that stood out for Qatar as an organization, Qatar is a HDP organization. In our approach, we have the aspect of humanitarian development and peace-building nexus. We are not just trying to see that we are into humanitarian intervention alone, but we are trying to see how we can also have the aspect of durable solution to all the problems affecting our communities.
We believe that we can actually reach much more communities across the country. But for me also, it's the fact that young people, because Qatar is a youth-led organization focused on women and children. Qatar is consciously and deliberately reaching out to people that communities, countries, most times have neglected and forgotten. We're bringing their voices to the front burner, we're empowering them with the right tools and skills, and also putting peace at the center of our work, because without peace, there will be no development. Without peace, there will be no prosperity.
Thematic areas of peace building, education, governance, child protection, nutrition, among others, are the focal points.
Sure, with this development, we are actually cutting a very big lane, which I'm sure many of us can follow to showcase that we have the capacity to do that.
I hope that the launch of this strategic plan will not just be one of the numerous documents that we have in the national archives and in our organization, but this will be a document where in the next 4 years, annually, we will be getting feedback, reports on how it will be achieved.
Please have a vision and pursue that vision. I'm telling you, share the story of Nigeria.
With this move by Qatar Foundation, it is expected that the plant will go a long way in bringing succor to survivors of this insurgency in the northeast region. Poor menstrual hygiene and unlimited access to good products undermines educational opportunity for girls across the globe. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, estimates that 1 in every 10 girls in Africa miss school because of their periods each month. But the organization wants to change this narrative.
And I'm sure menstrual hygiene...
Others press briefing. UNICEF WASH manager in Borno disclosed that over 300 students have been trained in various vocational skill programs to enable them to be self-reliant.
Whether it is for our daughters, our nieces, wives or sisters, we support them to safely manage their menstrual health and hygiene so that they can focus on their ambitions and responsibilities. Menstrual hygiene management is a multifaceted issue, and evidence compels us to consider that there is a pressing need to address it in a holistic manner, engaging not only women and girls but also the environment that surrounds them and impacts them.
UNICEF reaffirms commitment to provide psychosocial support and to sensitize the public on the importance of menstrual hygiene.
Studies show that stigma related to menstruation remains widespread, with adolescents often feeling ashamed or unable to openly discuss the topic. We are also ensuring adequate water supply in schools and communities, and we are promoting the construction of gender segregated toilets in schools and communities, so that girls and women are provided with safe spaces to manage menstruation with dignity and safety.
About 70,000 schoolgirls across the Northeast region have received menstrual kits, courtesy of the United Nations Children's Fund. The Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, Agile, is a World Bank-assisted project of the Federal Ministry of Education geared towards improving secondary education opportunities for adolescent girls aged between 10 and 20. The program has assisted the Borno State government in returning thousands of children back to school. These new schools is part of Agile's intervention in ensuring quality education is provided to out-of-school children.
Agile, in recognition of this nexus between poverty and education, especially in the rural communities, have designed a financial incentive, that is what we call conditional cash transfer system for the poorest household, to help our adolescent girls enroll, retain, and complete secondary school education in all our 18 implementing states. School building in Borno State are now reference point on how the modern classroom should look like in digital age.
The Borno State Governor, Zulum, is full of gratitude to this intervention. He assured to give adequate support to the success of the program.
Rest assured that Borno State government will provide the needed funding in order to achieve the desired quality assurance systems in the state. Most especially primary education is the backbone of any meaningful educational development.
School materials of books, uniforms and school bags was distributed to aid learning for 100,000 students who will be enrolled in public schools across the state for the 2024-2025 academic session. The education sector in the Northeast region has been devastated by 13-year conflict of Boko Haram. It has resulted to about 1.6 million children to be out of school. That's according to the United Nations Children's Fund. But government and development partners are putting all hands on deck to change the narrative. And Katai Foundation is already moving in that direction.
We believe that two things are critically important. Peace, because without peace there will be no progress and prosperity. Another one is trust. And from Katai's experience, we've built trust and sustained trust in various communities across Nigeria. And we think that government can leverage on the trust that we have built.
We have projected to have close to 6.48 million USD that we are projecting to have education intervention across rural communities within the next 4 years. So this intervention within education is trying to see how we can empower young girls, how we can take out children and young girls, children within the street, so as for us to provide them with the opportunity to know their right, have access to education that will contribute to the greater, to great life.
The need for massive investment in the Northeast region is key to reviving survivors of the 13-year insurgency.
An ambitious organization, what makes us happy and what gives us joy is to see we meet or we reach many beneficiaries. From what has been highlighted from the past 6 years, we have reached close to 3.5 million people. What that means is that we have quite a number of targets we want to see. This is something that has to do with resources.
This is something that has to do with resource mobilization, and we'll put in effort to see that we mobilize resources to meet more than the 5 million people that we're trying to see that we target at the end of this strategic.
With this call for action and commitment by stakeholders, development partners and government, it is believed that number of out-of-school children will be reduced significantly. Bringing soccer to survivors of the 13-year insurgency is one sureway Governor Babagana Zulum believes will continue to cushion the hardship being experienced by people of the state. Sharing of palliatives of food, non-food items and cash has been central to the administration of Governor Babagana Zulum. Take a listen. The Zulum administration in Borno has continued to reach out to returnees and survivors of the 13-year conflict. Governor Babagana Zulum believes that providing such support will cushion the hardship experienced by people of the state. Today, the governor is in Pulka community of Goza Local Council to distribute food, non-food items and cash. The food gesture is coming from the federal government, while the 220 million naira cash is from the state government.
We are here to distribute palliatives that were distributed to the government of Borno State by the federal government. The federal government has provided about 36,000 bags of 50 kg of assorted grains, maize, millet, and sorghum, for onward distribution to less privileged in our own community. So this morning we are here to plug up the distribution exercise in Pulka community of Goza local government areas of Borno State. Particularly in this community, about 10,000 heads of households will receive 50 kg bag of grains, each one of them. And I want to reiterate the fact that these food items were given to the government of Borno State by the federal government of Nigeria. I want to commend the federal government of Nigeria under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for coming to our aid at this very important time that people are preparing to cultivate their lands. This is the main reason why we are here. In addition to what the federal government has provided, we are also providing 10,000 naira each to about 22,000 women in Pulka, Warabe, Ngoshe, and Kirawa communities of Goda local government areas, and Erafa. This is coming from the government of Borno State. In addition to this grant, federal government is also providing some rice. We have started receiving the rice, but we are yet to complete the receiving of the rice. So that has informed the government of Borno State that we need to flag up from what we have so far received, so that the communities that are willing to go to their farmlands can go to their farmlands. In a nutshell, this is why we are here. And in addition to the food items that were donated to the communities, I also want to express my sincere appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for other support that we are receiving from his government. One, recently has given approval for the take-up of the Federal College of Education, Goda. Secondly, a few months ago you heard that the federal government has decided to collapse some of the federal agencies as a result of the merger proposed by the then Orasanya committee. We have pleaded to him and he has agreed not to merge the University of Biu with any other institution in Nigeria. This is another one. We are also receiving some financial support from the federal government. We are receiving some infrastructural support, signature bonuses and others, and all these are meant towards improving the means of livelihood of the people of Borno State. And therefore, at the bottom of my heart, I want to commend him. I want to commend the office of the Vice President, I want to commend NEMA, and I also want to commend the office of the NSA for ensuring that these items has reached the deserving people. Members of this committee are here. The representative of NEMA, the representative of Commissioner of Police, the representative of TS, CAN, Jamaatul Nasir al-Islam, civil society organizations and others are all represented here, including the media are all represented here with a view to ensuring that the properties are distributed in a transparent manner. Almost everybody in Nigeria is aware of the current hardship that people are facing in terms of food crisis. This is number one reason why I decided to do so. Secondly, Borno State has been witnessing insurgency since 2009 to date. Wherever there is insurgency, we may experience food crisis because people may not have the opportunity to cultivate their agricultural lands. This has informed the decision of Borno State government to start the distribution of food and non-food items to the displaced communities in Borno State since 2009 to date. I said it earlier that as long as I am the governor of Borno State, I will continue to provide the palliatives because it is necessary. But I want to advise the general public that the distribution of palliatives to the people is not sustainable. The quantum of money needed to provide this assistance is huge, and Borno State government cannot shoulder the responsibility of doing so. I'm also commending the federal government of Nigeria because we do used to receive support from the Northeast Development Commission, from NEMA, from Nigerian Customs Service, on the directives of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to commend them, and I want to appeal to the people of Borno State that they should remain calm and law-abiding. What we are facing in Nigeria is a global crisis. It's a global phenomenon. The federal government of Nigeria has started addressing some of the problems that we are facing. You have seen the Naira has started appreciating within the last 2 days. The federal government is doing everything possible to address this economic hardship, and therefore I want people of Borno State to remain calm and support the federal government of Nigeria, support the state government, as the state government and federal government are doing everything possible within our reach in order to cushion the effect of the hardship. I want to stress it again that it's not sustainable for government of Borno State nor the federal government to continue providing food assistance to the population. What we need is to invest in commercial agriculture. What we need is to invest in subsistence agriculture. The federal government has recently rolled out farming program under the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. This is what we call medium and longer term sustainable solution. I cannot also continue like this. I'm providing food to the most vulnerable population. But you have seen what we have started few months ago. We are investing in commercial agriculture. We are investing in irrigated agriculture. I'm calling upon all people of Metropolitan Council who don't have access to marketing and other means of their livelihood to engage in agricultural activities. Government will provide free buses. Government will provide agricultural inputs for them and support them with some cash so that they shall go and cultivate their lands beginning from this rainy season.
He has been in this palliative exercise, and that one was mainly for the returnees, those who have been brought back to Maiduguri as IDPs. So at the time when there was an improvement in the security situation of the local governments, most of the IDPs were returned to their ancestral homes. So the governor took the pain for the intervention, fending when the situation will stabilize. That is, for them to go back to their farmlands, to go back to their petty businesses. Government of Borno State receiving very meager resources from the Federation account, but he has blocked all the leakages, and he has made personal sacrifice that he don't want to interfere with anything to do with public funds. Whatever comes to Borno State government, after payment of salaries, he consider distribution this money to all the sectors of the economy, be it humanitarian crisis, be it infrastructure, and be it human capital development. So all the resources that is meant to Borno State government that has been received from the Federation account has been given to the downtrodden. That is the only reason why the governor is in the all areas of the economy.
Governor Zulum says he is committed to carrying out the distribution process as soon as the federal government's remaining palliative support arrived. And that's our package on this episode of Borno Restoration. Many thanks for watching. I am Jessie Tafida. See you next time. Bye-bye.